Do you like bananas? I don't, but I love banana bread. Today I'm going to be teaching you how to make chocolate chip banana bread. First, preheat your oven to 350 degrees and hit start. The materials you will need are 3 mixing bowls, measuring cups, measuring spoons, and lastly, a potato masher. The dry ingredients you will need are 2 cups of all-purpose flour, 1 teaspoon of baking soda, and a half teaspoon of salt. Now I'm going to mix all of the dry ingredients in one mixing bowl. First, you're going to get your 2 cups of all-purpose flour and pour it in your mixing bowl. And I like my stuff perfect, so I like to flatten it out at the top. After your 2 cups of flour, you're going to add 1 teaspoon of baking soda, then after you add your baking soda, you're going to get a half teaspoon of salt and pour that in. After you do that, you're going to get a mixing tool and mix all the stuff together just so it's nice and mixed. In a separate bowl, for your wet ingredients, you're going to get 2 really ripe bananas and that nobody would want to eat, and 2 eggs. You will first put the bananas in your bowl, and you're going to mash them until they are super mashed. And you're just going to keep them whole, peel them, put them in. And you want to get your potato masher and mash them well until they are basically mush. This is what your mashed bananas should look like, and they look super duper disgusting, I know. And it doesn't look like a lot for 2 bananas, but that's what it should be. I have this little separate blue bowl that I'm going to be cracking my eggs in because I want to make sure that there are no shells in my banana bread. After you cracked both your eggs, I have this mini whisk, and I'm going to be slowly and little mixing my eggs until the yolks are completely mixed in. Now that you had your eggs mixed together well, you're going to pour it into the bowl with your mashed bananas. After you've done that, you're going to get your potato masher again and mix them together well. You want to make sure that you get your mashed bananas and your eggs fully mixed together. This is what your mixture should look like. In your last bowl, you are going to need a stick of softened butter and brown sugar. Now you're going to get your softened butter and put it in your bowl. And then you're going to get your 3/4 of a cup packed down of brown sugar in your bowl. And I have a 1/4 of a cup here, so I'm just getting the brown sugar out and packing it down just with your hand. It is a bit messy, but just scoop it out, pack it down, and pour it in. Now you're going to get a mixing tool, and you're going to mix your brown sugar and your butter until the butter is completely dissolved into the brown sugar. This is what it should look like. You're going to get your brown sugar and butter mixture and your banana and egg mixture and mix them together. You're going to stir these 2 things until they're completely mixed together. For the last time, I know it doesn't look very appealing, but I promise it tastes delicious. Next, you're going to get all of your wet ingredients that you mixed into your dry ingredients and mix until fully dissolved. Now I'm pouring my wet mixture into the dry mixture, and I'm making sure that I'm scraping all of the extra wet ingredients in the bowl. Make sure I get the full effect. And I'm going to keep mixing until all of the dry ingredients have dissolved in the wet ingredients. This is what your mixture should look like. And again, you don't have to add chocolate chips. I'm adding lots because I love chocolate, and you can add as much or as little of them as you like. You don't have to add any of at all. You can add less, you can add more, you don't have to add any at all. And I'm just going to be stirring until all of the chocolate chips are spread out in the batter. Now you are going to get your bread loaf pan, and you're going to spray cooking spray on the sides and on the bottom so that your batter doesn't stick. Now you're going to get your batter mixture, and you're going to pour it into your bread loaf pan, and you want to make sure that you get as much as possible in your pan because you want the full effect. And when there's extra batter, I always love to take a little bite of it. And what you're going to do is spread out your batter in your pan so that it's evenly divided all over. And your pan should look like this. Now that your oven should be preheated to 350 degrees, you're going to put your pan this way in the middle rack. And I'm going to set my timer for 45 minutes. And we will check on it once it is done. Now that the 45 minutes has been up, I'm going to take the banana bread out of the oven and check on it. Make sure to have some oven gloves on because it's very hot. Take it out and set it down. This is what mine looks like right now. But to make sure it's done enough, I'm going to grab a toothpick and stick it straight down the middle to see if it's good. So there's no batter on it, which makes it say it's good. But I'm going to do it one more time just to make sure. Yep. But if there's a case where there's some batter in your banana bread, you will need to put it back in for a few minutes. But in my case, I don't need to. I'm gonna let it sit for a half hour just to make sure it cools down. So I actually ended up letting my banana bread sit for 1 hour because at the 30-minute mark, it was a bit too warm. This is what it looks like, and I'm gonna cut it. Now that I've got a small piece cut out, I'm gonna taste it. Delicious.